What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. We back with another one. We ain't gonna hold you. Let's get to it. 1017 First Lady.
When we talk about Gucci Mane's 1017 records, everybody brings up the same curse. The shootouts, the prison sentences, the boys who didn't make it. But nobody talks about the First Lady. That's Enchanting, the 26-year-old girl who built Trap and Blues. In 2020, she signed a major deal. Her hit Track and Field pulled in millions of views. Then she was gone. She wasn't taken by a bullet. She wasn't taken by a rival gang.
Oh, wow.
She was taken by an industry that bought her addiction for millions and left her to detox on the living room floor. Let's get into it. In the concrete heart of Fort Worth, Texas, Channing Nicole Leary was turning her real-life trauma into 808s, completely unaware that the very pain she was trying to escape was about to become her most...
Them folks left her to detox to death. Man, what are we talking about, bro? Why she ain't get no help? What was going on with her to where y'all couldn't help her, man? Y'all left her on the cold floor like that, bro. Boy!
profitable asset. Look, growing up in the Stop 6 neighborhood isn't a fairy tale. You learn to carry a heavy spirit before you even know how to drive. She didn't just wake up one day and decide to invent a new sound. She had to. The music she made, that trap and blues sound, wasn't a marketing strategy. It was a survival tactic. When you listen to her early tracks, you don't just hear a beat. You hear a young black woman pleading with the universe. I listen to that raspy, haunting voice of hers, and it hits me right in the chest. You cannot manufacture that kind of soul in a shiny Los Angeles studio. You have to bleed for it. You have to live it, and she was living it, hard. Before the major labels ever knew her name, she dropped an independent project called Love and Drugs. The title wasn't a gimmick. It was a literal diary entry. She was self-medicating, navigating the dark waters of early addiction, just looking for a safe space to breathe and get clean. She thought the music industry might finally give her a comfortable place to heal. She didn't know yet how literal her fight for a bare, clean floor to survive on was going to become. But right then, her voice was a magnet. People were mesmerized by her authenticity.
She blew up anyway without a label. Or getting attention or whatnot. That's what got the label attention. Okay.
She wasn't hiding her scars. She was singing right through them. She was a wounded girl using trap blues just to survive the long Texas nights. What she didn't see coming was a multi-million-dollar hip-hop empire that was about to bottle that exact pain and sell it to the entire world. Back in 2020, before TikTok completely shattered how we consume music, back when you still had to grind through the local Texas circuits to get real ears on your sound, word started spreading about this girl. Platinum producer Jay White did it. The man who crafted hits for Cardi B heard her. He didn't just hear another rapper looking for a check. He heard a seismic shift in the culture. He took her straight to Gucci Mane. Now, Gucci knows the streets better than anybody. He heard that voice, saw that raw Stop 6 energy, and signed her to the new 10,000 records on the spot. When they dropped the video for Track and Field featuring Cali, the earth shook a little bit. That single pulled in millions of views practically overnight. But it wasn't just about the viral numbers. It was the undeniable vibe. She was standing there, gorgeous, dripping in confidence, but with a vocal tone that sounded like it had survived 1,000 hard lifetimes. I remember the exact moment I first played that video. I had to pause it. I looked at the screen, got chills on my arms, and thought, Lord, who is this child carrying all that heavy weight? She wasn't just spitting bars, she was casting a literal spell. They branded it Trap and Blues. But let's be real, it was pure soul music for a generation that had forgotten how to cry. Look, the studio sessions with Enchanting weren't your typical industry, manufactured pop star setups. There were no ghostwriters handing her a polished, happy notebook. Being a young black woman in a heavily male-dominated trap label means you have to command respect the second you walk through the door. And she did. She would step up to the mic, and whatever ghost was haunting her spirit that day, she put it right on the track. When she was recording the No Louvre project, people in the room said you could physically feel the energy shift. She'd be quiet, observing everything, and then she'd step into the booth and just bleed over a heavy 888 beat. She was building an entire empire, the aesthetic, the unapologetic vulnerability. Fast forward to 2022, and I want you to picture this exact moment. She is standing on stage, the flashbulbs are blinding, the bass is vibrating through the floorboards, and there's a sea of young girls screaming every single word of her lyrics back at her. She's smiling, truly smiling. For a minute, the young Texas girl who used to sing just to survive the dark nights is standing on top of the hip-hop world. She is the first lady of 1017's. She has the chains, the cosigns, the undeniable talent. She is glowing, looking like she finally found a kingdom that would protect her. But as she stood there soaking in the roaring applause, what nobody in the crowd knew, what she didn't even realize yet, was that the very machine paying for those bright lights was already locking the doors from the outside. In 2022, she was standing under blinding arena lights, the undeniable first lady of a new rap era. By late 2023, she had quietly walked away from 1017's. She had quietly walked away from 1017 Records. Same mesmerizing voice, same heavy
What you walk away for?
a completely different, terrifying reality. See, the franchise rap label system isn't a family, it's a bloodthirsty machine. They don't sign a traumatized kid from Texas to heal them. They sign them to exploit that exact trauma. When the industry realizes your pain is profitable, they will keep handing you the very poison that's killing you, just as long as it streams well on the hip-hop playlists. The culture glorifies the lean, the pills, the numbing agents. It's a highly marketable aesthetic for the executives sitting safely in their corner offices. But the second that addiction stops looking cool in a heavily edited music video, the second it becomes a real, ugly, trembling human crisis. Those label executives suddenly lose your phone number. When tragedy struck the 1017's camp and her label mate Big Scar passed away from a
So that shit crazy right there. So you're not glorifying or you're not participating in the glorification of the sex, drugs, and money operation that they have going on. The label don't need you or want you. We're extorting like this, man. It's enough money that's being made for everybody to make some money. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. So you gotta provide what they need. This is what y'all do. This is how it go. Provide them what they need so they be whacked out and continue doing what they doing. No betterment.
out on her own, leaving the major label
Come on, man. Fuck with me.
safety net entirely. She kept dropping independent music, fighting tooth and nail to reclaim her narrative, her mind, and her soul. She was actively trying to outrun the very machine that had just chewed her up. She wanted to live. She was desperately trying to get clean. The music industry had bought her early Love and Drugs mixtape, packaged her profound pain, and made millions of dollars off her trap and blues suffering. So when Channing Nicole Larry finally decided she needed to purge the substances from her system to save her own life, where was the machine? They didn't fly her out to a luxury rehabilitation center in Malibu. They didn't hire around-the-clock medical staff to safely manage her severe, life-threatening withdrawals. They didn't offer a single solitary lifeline. She spent 4 agonizing days detoxing on the hard floor of her representative's house. 4 days. Sweating, shaking, fighting the absolute worst biological tear imaginable on a bare, cold floor. Remember when I said her fight for a bare, clean floor to survive on was going to become literal? This is exactly what I meant. They didn't just abandon a bad investment. They didn't just drop a failing artist. They took a bleeding girl, wrung out every drop of her soul for their Billboard charts, and left her to writhe on the ground like a stray. After those 4 agonizing days on that hard floor, her frail body simply couldn't wage the war anymore. She was trying so hard to get clean, but the grip of those substances is a demon that doesn't let go without tearing something apart. On June 10, 2024, the immense physical toll of her battle, complicated by an accidental overdose involving oxycodone and benzodiazepines, forced her exhausted heart to give out. She went into cardiac arrest.
She fought for 4 days and didn't nobody take her to no hospital. Didn't nobody try to like help her do nothing. Like, why y'all let her sit there, bro? Like, why? What's going on in the mindset right there, though, my boy? Like, my girl, what we doing? 4 days on the floor. Nobody picked her up and tried to help her get into no bed, no water, no food, no nothing, bro. Y'all just literally let her sit there and die. Walked around her, went to sleep while she was still on the floor. Like, this is 4 days, so 4 days of everybody just overlooking her while she trying to detox and get well, man. What's the problem? Problem. Yep,
But listen to me. She didn't just fade
man, the
out
haters
quietly in the
jealous.
dark. Even as her physical heart failed, that fierce Texas spirit was still throwing punches. They rushed her to the intensive care unit, where the cold, sterile beeping
4 days, my nigga. Now y'all want to get her to the hospital. After her heart stopped, y'all want to take her to the hospital now. Out of here, bro. Man, get gone.
of life support machines replaced the heavy, soulful beats she used to command. Outside those hospital walls, the panic was setting in. Her blood sister, Kai J, was desperately pleading with the universe on social media, telling everyone she's still fighting. She was holding on to every shred of hope, praying her sister would just open her eyes and come back home. But the damage inflicted by the industry's poison was just too deep. In the quiet, devastating early hours of June 11, the fight finally ended. Channing Nicole Larry took her last breath at just 26 years old. The crushing reality of her passing didn't come from some polished, labeled press release. It came straight from the streets that loved her. It hit when her close friend CJ Casino posted the raw, agonizing truth that shattered everyone. They pulled the plug, bro. You will forever be the princess of Stop 6. A true star, we gon' all miss you. That was the hollow copy and paste sentence that flooded Instagram the minute the news broke. The exact same executives and industry players who wouldn't answer the phone when she was begging for help to detox were suddenly the first ones to post a picture of her looking beautiful, securing their engagement numbers for the day. It's a sick, twisted performance. The silence that followed was deafening. The microphones were turned off, the studio sessions were canceled, but the cash register never stopped ringing. Because that's the
Wow,
darkest
really?
part of the music business. An artist's streams always skyrocket the week they die. Almost immediately, posthumous tracks started getting lined up for release. The music she bled for, the vocal tracks she recorded while she was crying out for help, are still being packaged and sold. And you have to sit back and ask yourself, where is all that royalty money actually flowing? Is it going to the family in Fort Worth who had to bury their 26-year-old daughter? Or is it going right back into the pockets of the exact same corporate entities that watched her drown? She left behind a blueprint that changed modern trap music. She gave a voice to the wounded, creating a space for women to be both incredibly tough and heartbreakingly vulnerable at the exact same time. But the industry didn't learn a single lesson from her sacrifice. They didn't change the contracts, they didn't implement mental health safety nets, and they certainly didn't stop promoting the deadly cocktail, pills, and lean. Just weeks after she was laid to rest, the great machine simply wiped the blood off its gears, reset the board, and started scouting the internet looking for the next young, traumatized girl with a beautiful voice to crown the new queen of trap numb blues. Now, when I look at the music charts today, I see a lot of shiny names, but I don't see that raw Stop 6 fire anymore. Channing's favorite microphone in that Texas studio is probably sitting under a layer of dust by now, but her haunting voice is still out there, floating through the headphones of every girl who feels like the world is just a little too loud and way too cold. It's the ultimate heartbreaking paradox, isn't it? She gave the world a beautiful soundtrack to survive our darkest nights. But when her own midnight finally came, the very people who got rich off her spirit didn't even bother to leave a light on for her. To my sisters watching this right now, I need you to really hear me. Please don't ever let them turn your survival or your trauma into a corporate brand. Your internal peace, your mental health, and your precious spirit are worth infinitely more than any record contract or any fleeting moment of fame. You have to love yourself enough to protect your soul and walk away before the machine decides you're finished. I want to leave you with a real question to sit with tonight. We keep seeing these young, brilliant stars flicker out just as they're starting to truly shine. So, when is this industry actually going to be held accountable for the bodies they leave behind? Is a platinum record really worth the cost of a 26-year-old life? Don't let them just remember the stage name. Go ahead and drop her real name in the comments, Channing Nicole Larry, so the world knows.
And see, here's the thing with this for me. I understand the game as far as what they doing, and I understand the reason as to why they doing it. But that don't make it okay to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's being done is the fact that like they've been extorted completely. There's no reason ground with this. Like, you sign me because of my traumas, and then you take the trauma that I have and you use them against me to kill me. Nowhere in the contract that it says that you are going to help me. You're only going to help me in the way that is going to benefit you later, basically. And the way that benefits you later even more is if I die or if this artist dies, or you put them in a situation to kill themselves. So, but put it on the flip side of it, like, isn't that murder when you provide all the stuff that they need and they do it, or is it because they did it? And even if they started off doing this and they realized to a point that they got to get themselves straight, just outside the label, nobody's around to help her. But again, in the label, they it don't say that they gonna help her. From what we can see at the label, like they make more money. So the label set up to let you sign for a minute and then find a way to kill you. But that's what I'm saying. If they find a way to kill you, then it's not like murder, attempted murder, conspiracy. Like, it gotta be something with it. But then again, what I know. It's your boy